Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today on Ramblings, woo, what a live we had last night. Look at that orange across my face right there, guys. That is that beautiful sunset behind me. Look at that, guys. Woo, it is beautiful. We had a live on Ridge Life last night that was off the hook. Not because it was super funny or crazy, which it always is, obviously. Because big news, big beans was spilled. It wasn't clickbait. I said big news, and I had good news, and it was really good news, and I had bad news, and it was kind of bad news. And then I commenced I said, I'll tell you about the 30-minute mark in case you want to go back and watch that. But I'm going to talk a little more about it here to give you all some more details, because we had so many other things to talk about last night. We actually went for an hour and a half on that live. Mac and Patty, Southern Blessed Homestead, did not go live. Mac let me know ahead of time, said, hey, if you want to go over, you know, no problem. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do it. So, the bad news. So, my plan for 2024 is, this is the year, okay? You know, 2023, I got divorced. And it took almost all year to get my name off the mortgage of the previous property. The 30.45 acres is in mine and my mom's name. It's both in our names. And, you know, she has a log home on her little corner of it. So that got completed in 2023. That the old Ridge farmhouse is no longer in my name. Now the loan was a VA loan, and I let my ex keep the VA loan. She assumed it, so she wouldn't have to incur the 7% plus mortgage rates now. You know, single woman kind of thing. You know, she definitely couldn't get better than 7%. I mean, nobody could. I probably could. You know. Both of us had perfect credit, by the way. Because the old VA mortgage was at 2.25. 30-year mortgage, 2.25. So to get it at 7%, you're like, Tim, it's only 4 3/4, whatever. You know, do the difference. 7 to 2.25. So 4 3/4. But guys, that actually takes a, I think there was about $400,000 left on that mortgage. The home values went up like crazy. It's like a $700,000 or $800,000 home and 7 acres, the barn, the pond, and all that. It would have taken that $400,000 mortgage and made it $1 million. The monthly payment would have doubled. And that's just crazy. I didn't want her to have to do that, and I didn't want her to have to, you know, default on it or, you know, go through any of that. And so yeah, so I can't use a VA loan until she pays that off or sells the house. I understand that. I agreed to. That was my idea. It wasn't her idea. It was my idea. She didn't ask for that. My own doing. So no malfeasance on anybody else's part. Nobody taking advantage of anybody else. That was my idea. I just didn't think it was right for her to have to pay, you know, $5,000 a month mortgage or something like that. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe people do that nowadays. But so that 2023, that got out of my name, and I can't do a VA loan. But I plan on building on the ridge. I don't need a VA loan. Not an issue. I plan on building, buying materials, contracting, subcontracting, you know, services. I don't need a mortgage. So I contact my HR. You know, this is 2024, guys. My name's off the mortgage. Everything's clear. Let's get this going. You know, the barn's been waiting forever. The dozer video hadn't came out yet. Tim, you need to get some work done. Okay, y'all ready for some work? So I'm ready to get that ball rolling. So I contacted my HR department saying, what do I got to do to get the money out of my 401k, my money, so I can start building my primary residence since I got a divorce. That's a provision under your 401k and the IRS is to, in the event of a hardship like that, you no longer have a home. I'm living in a camper on the ridge, you know what I'm saying, in a van down by the river. So those provisions allow for it. Well, I find out that yes, they allow for it. They allow for the purchase of a primary residence. They don't pay your mortgage payments. I ain't gonna get a mortgage. What they do is they pay your down payment. You can take money out of your 401k to pay your down payment, closing costs, and fees, tax, and title. I'm not doing any of that. I don't have a down payment. I don't have a tax, and title, or transfer fees, or blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna get $10,000 out for the well. I'm gonna get $10,000 out for the septic. I'm gonna get $10,000 out for the, you know, the this, that, and the other, the clearing the land, and yeah. So I talked to my HR about it, and I got to call Fidelity. So the plan is, the bad news is I can't just get the money out and start getting my blueprints. First step to this new journey, this off-grid RidgeLife journey, is to get blueprints made, design drawings for the barn dominium. And once I get that, I can get my permit going for the build. You know, I live in a county that requires permits. There is restrictions. So on this 34.45 acres, I've already got preliminary permitting, which, you know, they looked at where I want to build. Now I've got, you know, I'm okay to start paying to get drawings. Okay, so I got to pay to get drawings made up, and then show them those drawings, get approval of those drawings, and then I can get the septic PERT test done and verify the septic location. And once that's going, then I can start making improvements on the land, getting the land cleared, getting the pad built up, get the conventional foundation in, get the well dug, get the septic in, and when I get the drawings and the permit, then I'll put the order in on the materials. I'm not just going to go to Lowe's and get all my materials. I'm going to, the things that are conventional, I'm going to go to Lowe's for, get myself. The 8x8 kiln dried timbers for the timber frame barn dominium. A lot of those timbers, those special materials, I'm going to get the company that draws up the drawings, the blueprints, to design it, to provide those specialized timbers and things. Kind of like my log home, you know, the mom's log home. We used Honest Abe log home out of Mars, Tennessee for that. Probably going to use them too. Not confirmed, but probably going to use them too. Got to work a deal with them. So that's the plan, and I just got to have the funding for it. And I thought the funding was going to be a 2024 hit the ground running and go. It's kind of why I was holding on the dozer video, so I can just have this momentum right on YouTube of I'm working on the barn. Got the dozer video come out. I'm working on the barn, and I start making this progress on the barn dominium. It's a whole journey, and I can retire in there at some point and make lots of YouTube videos, right? I got to get a couple things, you know, I was pretty much debt-free before I got the Harley and the truck. I needed the truck for long-term living on the farm, and the Harley was just something I wanted to go into retirement having, okay? I wanted to have it and have it paid off when I go into retirement. Pay it off really quick. So that kind of put a damper on things when the HR told me that I got to go to talk to Fidelity to figure out how we're going to do this with the IRS. So I'd already made a plan to talk to a financial counselor to ensure that my retirement plan is sound. Okay, I want to ensure that me and my family are taken care of in my retirement, regardless of how the YouTube thing plays out. You know, I love YouTube. I love doing YouTube, but I'm not going to rely on YouTube as my primary income. I have my retirement. If the YouTube works well to pay the bills in retirement, then my retirement will build, and I'll have a really nice nest egg, you know, to build onto the property and do it and do those type of things. Live off the YouTube and use the retirement to advance the ridge experience, right, and help my family out, my kids and stuff. my grandbaby. So gonna meet with a financial planner for my retirement planning. Gonna meet with the Fidelity about my 401k withdrawal, not a 401k loan, because the 401k loan you can only get for 5 years, and $200,000 to $300,000 for all this stuff over 5 years is way more than I can afford a weekly payment on working, right? So, oof, it's like $1,000 a week payment on a 401k loan for over 5 years. Oof. Even though you're paying yourself interest, it's just unreasonable. So, got the financial planner meeting coming up January 16th, very soon. I could call Fidelity, got to get that meeting planned up. Got to call Honest Abe Log Homes and see about sending them my ideas. You know, if you guys remember back, I put plans on a live stream showing what my barn dominium is going to look like. I got to send that to them, and they got to tell me what will work, what won't work, and get the engineered aspect of it down. Because if I'm going to do a lot of this myself, I got to have somebody tell me exactly how it needs to be done. I can't just wing it like a lot of these, like Gary. Gary is just, you know, Gary from Simple Life Claim and David from Come On Homestead. They're construction minded. You know, I'm a electrical engineering by trade. I'm not construction minded. You know, I got a little bit. I got much common sense though. I'm a little bit lacking in common sense. You can tell. It's me, right? So get the drawings, get all that stuff. I'll show you once I get the drawings from them. You know, you've already seen the drawings I put up. If you haven't, I'll put those out again too very soon. But I'll show you the drawings, show you any changes we make. It's going to be a beautiful place. It's really going to be a beautiful place that I can have my grandbabies at. It's going to, you know, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Right now I'm living in that camper, and I don't want to live in that camper. I've been there, you know, since last winter, and now it's winter again, and it's going to take a good year, guys. So I'm doing this, you know, it took 2 years to build my mom's log cabin. It took 2 years. She was living in a camper trailer for almost 2 years, or 2 years. So this could be a long journey, and hopefully you're interested in that type of thing. You don't want to just watch that one time lapse of the Ridge barn dominium being built, which will happen eventually. But it's gonna be a long journey. You know, the barn, the road out to the barn dominium, the land cleared, the foundation, septic well, blah blah blah. Not all happen at one time. Got to have the funds for it, right? So the bad news was, yeah, there's gonna be a delay there. Just figuring it out. It's going to happen. I got the money for it. I've Dave Ramsey'd it very well, and you know, the divorce hurt, both emotionally, spiritually, and financially. But it was amicable. Put that way, it was amicable. Both parties involved. The good news. Okay, so that was the bad news, and like Tim, that sounded like a pretty good future. I don't think that was too bad. I agree. The bad news. No, the good news. I'm done. Yeah, the good news. Okay, one of my biggest stumbling blocks to retiring early to YouTube, to be able to film all of this without having to take vacation every single time, you know, I get something done, was health insurance. I've got health insurance through my employer, and buying health insurance when you're 53 years old in the private sector, unless you're very, very poor, is very unaffordable for most. Very, very expensive. And I don't want to waste all my money on that. And I really don't want to wait till I get on Medicare, because then that boat will leave the harbor, and I'll lose my opportunity to enjoy this journey, you know. So the good news. I got a letter from the VA administration saying I needed to file this form with my taxes. And if you're on the live last night, you already know a lot of this, but I'm giving you more detail, more in depth. You know. Gave me a form to file my taxes for my VA health coverage. I'm like, I ain't got no VA health coverage. I'm not a disabled vet, you know. And I'd already called. I'd already talked to the VA 2 times about what service veterans could get without a disability, and it was pretty much nothing. You can't get any health care without some sort of disability or something. But I got this form in the mail So I called the VAHealthcare.gov and I talked to Megan. And Megan was so helpful, very ungovernment-like, okay? So whatever president in the last administration that revamped the VA system, thank you very much, got a lot of the bureaucrats out and got some very good people in. Very, very happy with that. So I talked to Megan. She was so helpful. She goes, Mr. Roberts, you received that because you are signed up for VA healthcare. I'm like, well, yeah, I know I signed up for it a year or two ago to get the, you know, to get in the system to see what I could do. But I didn't see any benefits. She said, well, you should have got a handbook. Let me update your address and I'll get you a handbook out to what your benefits are. But I can tell you right now, you want me to go over those? I said, yes, ma'am, please do. She said, well, Mr. Roberts, you are what's called priority category 3. I'm like, I have no idea what that is. She goes, well, there's 8 priority categories. One being full benefits. You pay for nothing. People who get that are 100% disabled or Medal of Honor recipients. I'm not a Medal of Honor recipient, by the way. Category 8 is pretty much you're not entitled to nothing. You make too much money, you're not disabled, you've done nothing in your military service to recognize that, dishonorable discharge, you know, who knows? Not getting it. But Mr. Roberts, you're number 3, category priority 3. And I'm like, well, again, I have no idea. Because what you're entitled to with that category is you're allowed for inpatient care in any VA facility with a copay. That sounds like the insurance I've got now. Sir, you're also eligible for outpatient coverage with a copay. Again, Medal of Honor recipients have no copay, you know, none of that stuff. I'm like, well, that sounds good. Mr. Roberts, you're also eligible for urgent care and emergency room visits outside the VA system 3 times a year with copay. Well, hot diggity dog diggity boo, that was exactly the dream, the prayer, the wish I had. You know, I wish that my military service afforded me those opportunities, and I just didn't think they did. And I asked her, well, how was that possible? And she went down the requirements. I go, well, yeah, I was a nuclear submariner, and I served in these areas during this time. She goes, well, Mr. Roberts, I appreciate your service, and based on that service, this is what you're qualified for. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna complain, sure. So, check mark number 1, healthcare. Now, I still have to figure out what that copay level is. Category 3, it's pretty low. It's not like, you know, you got to pay 90% or anything. It's pretty low. I just want to make sure I had basic healthcare. So if I got, you know, the big C word or anything, or broke a leg, I would have coverage, and it would have to straight out of pocket all that stuff, right? And oh, pharmaceuticals, pharmaceutical coverage with copay. So that's great also. It's kind of just like the insurance I've got now. So check mark healthcare off the list. Check mark meeting with the financial planner. Pseudo check mark 401k. Got to meet with Fidelity to figure out how to get the funds. Okay, so got to contact, get the blueprints going. I've already got the primary, the initial permitting done for where I plan on building. I already showed them where I plan on building and what I plan on building. They just got to see the drawings, you know, the meet code and stuff. So I'm going to provide that. So guys, the thumbnail for the live stream last night was not clickbait. As you can tell here, this was big news. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? The good, I got healthcare. The bad, harder to get my 401k out than I thought, even with penalty, that 10% penalty for taking it out before you're 59.5 years old. You pretty much got to quit work. And then if you quit work, you can withdraw it for a 10% penalty. You pay 20% in taxes and 10% more. So if you take out $100,000, you got to pay $30,000 in taxes. That's a lot, right? But that's, you have to quit work to do it. And the plan does not allow you to withdraw it, even with paying a penalty, unless you quit work or you're 59.5 years old. So, yeah, I'm gonna work around it though. I divorced, trying to buy my primary residence, I believe is a qualifier. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. So good, healthcare. Bad, kind of hard to get my 401k. Ugly? That's me. The good, the bad, the ugly on the ridge, baby. But I am excited about 2024. One thing I'm excited about is that it's going to start, the winter solstice is here, and we are starting to get longer days. It's dark outside almost right now, and I'm driving home from work, getting these ramblings to you in the dark. I can't go home and start getting on the tractor and clearing trees and pathways and burning those brush piles and all that stuff, because it's dark. And then if it rains, okay, I'm not complaining at all. I'm excited about the sun setting later and having more daytime. It's coming. It's coming. Deer season is still here. I got a little bit of deer hunting left to do. And guys, it's on like Donkey Kong. I got a pretty girlfriend who's very understanding, and I got a beautiful family. I got a daughter, three sons, a granddaughter, and a mom, an uncle that's close by. I got great distant, dad and sisters and brother. Life is good, guys. Life is good. So we'll be traveling. Jen and I will be traveling to Connecticut and Vermont very soon, and you'll get to see those travels, guys. I think. Well, I got that dozer video down from 16 hours to like 9 hours now. I'm going to continue on that and get that out to you at the appropriate time for this push for the builds and stuff. But I've got the videos of Adelie and me and Alyssa at Disney World, at Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. And I really want to get those out. I want to share them for Alyssa and Adelie, but also I want my viewers to see how much fun I had with my granddaughter and what this summer was about. And this summer was about family and family. Okay, I got divorced, and I needed that social interaction. I needed that to liven my spirit. I think a lot of you saw that this summer I was very much alive, and I really needed that. I needed that mindful break, that love pouring into my heart. I got to have great time with the family, Mel and Gary, Anthony and Roxanne, Mike and Lissa, and of course David and Sid and Mike down there in 3 Mississippi, and all the other, Jeff and Drew and Lindsay. I just got to have a lot of love. Then of course Drew, Jen came into my life, and it's just been getting better and better ever since. So I'm excited about what 2024 has got to offer. I think big things are coming on the Ridge, and I think you guys are, if you're joining the Ridge family right now, you have joined at the right time. I just pulled into the house, and I'm going to upload this video. I got awesome people to watch tonight. It is Wednesday, right? And that's Family Live night, and I think a lot of awesome things are happening. I believe CRC actually has a video coming out tonight that we all want to see. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's today. So be on the lookout for that. So guys, I love every single one of you. Hopefully y'all didn't think this was just a rehash of last night. Hopefully I gave you a little more insight. And because I wasn't interacting with the other chat, and I was trying to keep up with the chat while I was giving all this information, and maybe it didn't flow out as smoothly, and I get a little addle brain sometimes, a little squirrely. So I love every single one of you, and I am excited about 2024, and I hope you are too. I love you guys to death. So until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed day. Keep rambling, and go Ridge Life.